Hello, and welcome to The Picture, a Koch Industries Spotlight series offering a look at the transformational and inspirational stories happening right here in Wichita. I'm Melissa Scheffler. When you think of entrepreneurship in Wichita, there are a lot of well-known businesses that started here. Everything from popular restaurant chains to aviation manufacturers. There's also Koch Industries, one of the largest private companies in America. At Koch, every employee has the job of being a principled entrepreneur, thinking like a business owner, and leading the way to better solutions. Today, we'll see how anyone can benefit from principled entrepreneurship inside and outside of Koch. Let's start with Dane Laughlin, a Koch employee who used his passion for technology to create new opportunities for himself and countless others. It might look like Dane Laughlin is playing video games at work. Don't let the virtual reality or VR goggles fool you. This is Dane's job as a business transformation product leader, a position he created for himself at Invista, a Koch company.
I started as an intern in one of our Texas facilities doing environmental health and safety, but I really had a passion for new technology and how do you apply that in the space that I was in at that point. That role opened up opportunities for me to try VR and to help other people try VR. And then that's just kind of paved the way for a lot of other projects that we've done since.
As an intern, Dane learned about the concept of principled entrepreneurship. He started looking for ways to use his knowledge and skills to advance his career and help the company.
I had been doing research on VR stuff in my own personal life just because I'm a big nerd and I really like the technology. And we had an opportunity where we wanted to do some training in one of our facilities.
Training inside an industrial facility can require equipment shutdowns, managing risk, and communicating with employees who are wearing ear protection. So Dane and his team had a different idea.
We looked at that problem and I thought, hey, we should try training people in VR because you could train them in a quiet room. They could run through the simulation as many times as they wanted, so they could really get the hang of it without being pressured based on timing or anything like that.
You saw a space, a problem, and you wanted to help people solve it.
I think about it a little bit like if you want to learn how to drive a car, but you've driven a go-kart beforehand, it's easier to make that jump. And so that what we're doing is we're teaching people in a virtual space so that it's easy to make the jump when they get out to the real world.
Why do you think Koch expects its team members to be principled entrepreneurs?
If you're in an organization that doesn't have principled entrepreneurs, you're relying on the leadership exclusively for being able to provide ideas or provide vision. And I think Koch sees that we have a lot of smart people around here, and everybody has opportunity to make a difference for us as a business. And so I think it's decentralizing those decision rights is what's important.
Dane is working to expand the use of augmented and virtual reality technologies across Koch with 3D digital models of company facilities.
I can pull up my tablet right there in the field, look at the pump that I'm standing in front of on the 3D model, and then if I click on the tag, it'll pop up information regarding that pump that I need to have to do my job.
Current information?
Current information, yeah. So live data. That's super exciting because now people have all the data that they need at their fingertips, procedures, pictures, anything that we need to deliver.
And that's something you brought on?
Yep, that's something that we're working on right now. I went to school for biomedical engineering, which has nothing to do with chemical companies or, augmented or virtual reality. It's kind of interesting how I landed here without prior experience or anything, just a lot of passion for the space.
Dane is a prime example of what it looks like to be a principled entrepreneur at Koch. When we return, learn how some other employees are teaching principled entrepreneurship outside of Koch to help local students prepare for their careers. Welcome back to The Picture. Koch defines principled entrepreneurship as practicing a philosophy of mutual benefit, creating superior value for customers and society, and being a preferred partner. For employees Joe Woodward and Abe Rodriguez, these are words to live by. They've created their own organization outside of Koch called Student Startup to help high school and college students grow their first business. Here's their story. It wasn't long ago that Joe Woodward and Abe Rodriguez were teenagers, spending their summers working to make some extra money. After starting their careers at Koch, they learned about principled entrepreneurship and thought the information would have been useful in school.
We had experienced the value of running a business as teenagers, and we're like, I think more kids could benefit from this.
It's one of the things that we connected on early on. Joe, you would have had a lawn mowing business in high school. I would have done something similar with like painting. We connected with a couple other folks and he said, what does it look like to mentor and invest in youth who want to become entrepreneurs and help them catch a vision for what a career, in business would look like?
There's this idea of an internship for an entrepreneur. Getting a chance to run a simple, low-risk business under the supervision of a caring mentor, having that opportunity to learn and earn.
And when did it start?
In 2017, we got our 501c3. We started serving 2 students, which grew to 6 students, which grew to 20 students. Now we're doing about 50, on track to do 100 this year.
Joe and Abe named their organization Student Startup and began building a network of coaches, customers, and other investors interested in developing the next generation of entrepreneurs.
We've got a program where students can come to us with their big ideas. We help pair them with kind of cause-focused customers, people who want to give teenagers an opportunity, pair them with a coach, give them startup capital if that's necessary. So any business they can be successful at, we're here for them. We call them starter businesses, low-skilled, high-trust jobs where teenagers have a built-in advantage.
Many students join the business owner programs for babysitting or mowing, and some come with their own ideas, like caring for people's pets.
We believe that when you're serving your neighbor, when you're thinking about their needs and you're looking outside of yourself for where can I create value in society, that not only helps your customer, transforms your community, but also changes you. And suddenly you start to see yourself in a different light in society. And you're playing an active role versus a passive role. And the mindset shift that happens in a student's mind when they go from a consumer to a producer, we could just go name after name after name of someone who just, it's like pouring gasoline on a fire. They just took off.
Principled entrepreneurship is at the heart of what you're doing, and it also seems to be at the heart of what you're teaching these students as well.
When you think about someone who's going to transform the world, it's not someone who's passive. It's not someone who's sitting on the sideline. It's someone who's rolling up their sleeves, jumping in, finding a need, filling the need, and that all of us are going to be better off when that's happening.
If you'd like to learn more about Student Startup, look for them online at studentstartup.org. We've already seen how current Koch employees are applying principled entrepreneurship inside and outside of Koch. In just a moment, we'll hear from Micaela Ramirez, a former Koch employee who entered the nonprofit sector and is working as a principled entrepreneur to create opportunities for Wichita's Hispanic community. For anyone not familiar with principled entrepreneurship, it's easy to think that it's all about business. When you take a closer look, you'll see it's a philosophy anyone can apply to their personal life or their community to help solve challenges and create new opportunities. Micaela Ramirez, a former employee at Invista, a Koch company, knows this firsthand. She is now the executive director at the Kansas Hispanic Education and Development Foundation, also known as KHEDF. She's using what she learned about principled entrepreneurship to strengthen our community. Micaela Ramirez has helped others her whole life. As the oldest daughter of 7 kids raised by a single mom, Micaela had the responsibility to provide care for her siblings at an early age.
I'd always told my mom I was going to be her one to go to college and get that degree. She was a super hard worker.
Micaela worked full-time as a medical assistant while raising her own children and earning a degree in business administration.
There was a couple of people who were like, you'd be really good at Koch. They have a lot of opportunities. And I'm like, Coca-Cola? Like what? And so they're like, no, Koch Industries.
Micaela spent the next couple years working in data management and practicing principled entrepreneurship at a Koch company before pursuing a new role at the Kansas Hispanic Education and Development Foundation. Explain what this foundation does.
We provide scholarships to Hispanic students in the Wichita and Wichita metro area, but we also provide programs and workshops. We essentially help them kind of all through their stage of their college journey and then help them as they enter their career. I really saw the ability to take what I enjoyed at Koch, but being able to put it into how do you help others and improving their life and essentially making their goals, making that dream possible, to be able to do that and just really seeing myself in those students.
One of those students supported by KHEDF is Ida Loya.
It really has allowed me to take the next step into actually finishing my degree. A lot of the challenges that first generation students have is self-doubt, and I think I realized that I had self-doubt halfway through my college career. Seeing other students realize their dreams and their careers and take the next step allowed me to think that it was possible for me.
What's the most rewarding part about being a principled entrepreneur?
I think seeing the success of others. For me, I think that that's really where I get gratification, is being able to see that the work that I put into this for the next generation, hoping to set them up to be able to be confident to go into these rooms that they would never see themselves in or could never imagine themselves in. I'm willing to do that for other people and to be able to help them build their success in their own stories.
To find out more about principled entrepreneurship, visit the philosophy page on kochind.com. It's a starting point for learning how to become a principled entrepreneur in your own life. Thanks for watching The Picture. We hope this gives you a better perspective of the positive stories happening in Wichita. See you next Sunday.